Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Aries, June 18, 2022. You're suddenly quite motivated to take action on a matter that you may have turned a blind eye to, or that you felt was out of your hands. You might instead pursue a desire that you've blocked in the past. The bottom line is that you're especially emotionally brave today, perhaps also inspiring others who readily follow your lead. You can benefit from getting a handle on tricky or vulnerable areas of your life. You can sometimes be a little impatient with Mars in your sign, especially since others may not be catching on as quickly as you are. Even so, you are very willing to make things work. It's best to be as honest with yourself as possible right now. For example, if something or someone has hurt your pride, allow yourself to feel that hurt instead of covering it up with anger or indignation or otherwise attempting to distance yourself from the painful feeling. Allowing yourself to truly feel it is the only authentic way to heal and move forward. Today is strong for exercises such as this. Personal influence and charisma are strong. As the day advances, a Sun-Saturn trine points to feeling stronger on a mental level, as it builds your confidence that you can get over hurdles and obstacles. Your patience can carry you far today and tomorrow. Realistic thinking benefits you and feels satisfying. Your loved one seems to be in a particularly ardent and adventurous mood. The day's planetary configuration indicates that you have every chance to go places you have never been before. It is a day to discover new things you love to do together, and to find other interests you can share. Whether you are with a small group of friends or alone together, it will be really pleasant. Be courageous. You are exactly where you need to be and doing what you need to do in your career path, even if it does not feel like when Mars conjuncts Chiron in your sign today. The conjunction triggers a sore spot or two, likely making you feel unsure of your professional disposition. Instead of becoming overly frustrated with how your professional identity is panning out or how your ambitions are unfolding, you could use this conjunction to honor how you feel more healthily. Ask yourself what you can do to assume control of your professionalism. Today, the heavens will be trying to teach you something. Specifically, they will be teaching you how to share with others. But first, you must get to a place where you truly want to share something of yourself. Have you examined your tendency to run away from others? You seem to be afraid that they will overwhelm you, or that you will owe them something. This isn't the case at all. Why not give other people a chance to get to know you? To put it mildly, you are somewhat overwhelmed with what is expected of you. There are frequent misunderstandings, especially with relatives and friends. To avoid making the tense situation worse, refrain from acting in the heat of the moment. You need a great deal of time and patience for talking things over to clear matters up. You're feeling energetic and ready to rumble with someone cute. If you're already involved, ramp it up. If not, go look for someone and ask if it's fine to kiss them. You come under intense scrutiny and react badly to criticism you might receive from people you care about most. Emotional outbursts lead you to say things you later regret. It is probably best if you try and remove yourself from any tense situation to a quiet place where you're able to reflect on how you feel. The energy today can have you feeling ready for most anything. Given your often more radical approach, you may need to keep yourself in check. A humanitarian way is also part of being an Aries, and if in the pursuit of the things you want leads to hurting others, it would be a serious contradiction. With this kind of energy occurring, think through your plans of action before following through to ensure that you remain steadfast to all of your own ethics. Lending support to those lacking in confidence will be easy for you on this day. Just be sure that you stop what you are doing long enough to notice the need, and then act on it. A few words of encouragement and praise can do amazing things for someone who is feeling less than competent at this time. You have the gift of being seen as a role model, and people naturally value your opinion. Share freely of your gifts. The moon's departure from your career sector yesterday has left you with more than just your professional instincts and imagination fueled and a download of information, insights, and messages to unpack. It was the moon's friendly aspect to Venus as it moved through, but also just as she was crossing the lunar nodes, giving you a view of both sides of the financial fence that has helped to boost your confidence. While Venus is working to attract income potential, you can't attract what you don't believe you deserve, which is what has made this so empowering. Ahead of her return to your communication sector next week, Venus is both watching with interest the breakthroughs the Sun and Mercury, planet of communication, are making, while also drawing confidence from this. While a mission to give your heart and your relationships a voice doesn't start for another 5 days, this is already getting a boost. Our eyes in the sky. With the moon in spontaneous, expansive and adventurous Aquarius, you're ready to stay out all night and party the hours away, but deep down somewhere you know that operating in non-stop entertainment mode has to come to an end at some point, and that point should probably be well before dawn if you have anything productive to do in the morning. Right? At the same time, we see a T-square forming between the moon, Sun and Neptune in mutable signs, creating adaptability and a drive to submerge yourself in whatever's going on around you. While these can be very positive things, you'll have to be careful not to get too caught up in just going with the flow, bruh. This is classic, if your friends jumped off a bridge, would you jump too? Energy that the universe is throwing your way. Being too flexible and pliable, aka playable, can lead to trouble, especially in combination with the fiery Sag full moon. Your communication skills and mental clarity could take a small hit when the moon forms an unbalanced aspect to Mercury later in the afternoon. If you've been working hard all day, now would be a good time to take a break and indulge in a healthy snack. As evening falls, you'll likely be in the mood for adventure and socialization. If you can swing it, try to make some plans to meet your best pals for dinner, and be sure to try out a place you've never been to before. In the pre-dawn hours, Mercury in Cancer forms a sextile to Uranus in Taurus, expanding our minds. This transit allows us to have dynamic conversations which broaden our awareness without causing controversy. Discussions may center around concepts of radical care and compassion, or how to foster empathy. We tend to assume that caring for others means to hold space for their comfort, which is not entirely inaccurate. However, there comes a time when comfort becomes coddling, which hinders one's ability to evolve and thrive. It is currently valuable to push others a bit outside of their conceptual comfort zones, and we expect the same treatment in return. In this way, self-discovery becomes the mechanism for engagement in the wider world. After sunup, the moon sextiles Saturn in Aquarius. While we might typically jump into a new adventure without much forethought under the optimistic Aquarius moon, Saturn provides patience and aids us in planning an agenda we can be confident in. Resultingly, our enthusiasm for the moment stays intact, but we can also get the logistical basics in order and ensure we have the necessary supplies. Whether we are prepping for a project or a trip, or planning long-term future goals, this transit will get our feet firmly planted on the ground so we can innovate with confidence without losing our critical sense of idealism.